Here they come, and there he goes with a wobbly pass. It's picked off! And that's the first interception by Gardner.
Play action again. More good ball handling from Jones. Room to run. There goes Daniel Jones. Touchdown, Giants.
The throw, and it's intercepted. He's got another one, and he's got a field ahead of him. Diggs is going to take it to the end zone. Unbelievable.
Pass is to Thomas. He's gone. Touchdown, Saints.
Here he is throwing in the middle. It's caught by Watson. He's got great speed. Turning the corner. Christian Watson down the sideline. And he will score. Love to Watson.
Look at now you're talking. I mean, this is football. When you got steam coming out of your head and your mouth, now you're talking football. You're controlling that offensive line. This is what it's all about.
This is Football Friday on WHPC Sports Talk.
All right, y'all hear that music? You know what time it is. Welcome to the Week 7 edition of Football Friday on WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Listen,
Woo!
A lot. Thanks for the excitement. Got the excitement in the room.
Mid-car ride.
We down a few people, but we still got plenty of personality in the room, plenty of takes for y'all. Joshua Umahi as your host. I'm joined by Kory David and Devin O'Shea. How are you two doing today? We got a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan sitting right next to each other. What's the vibes like?
I mean, as a Giants fan, it's numb. You're numb to a lot of things right now. You're just looking for anything, just trying to grasp on anything to be positive about. Like, okay, yeah, the defense really stepped up last week. We had a good showing as well, but, there's things that the offense ain't where it's supposed to be at.
To say the least. That's an understatement.
And then, I might have to give up some... I would have said I would have given up some money, but the way a certain team in New Orleans is playing, costing me money.
Yeah, our bet.
Monroe. Yo, I literally had everything down to a science. I had it perfect. It's perfect.
What you had perfect?
Yo, my slip yesterday was magnificent. Only one thing was missing. Do you know what that one thing was missing?
What was missing?
An Alvin Kamara touchdown. Oh. And they were in position to get an Alvin Kamara touchdown.
Just stop talking for a second.
Stop it. Get some help.
I will not.
I will not.
You're going to let addiction just rule over your life?
No.
It's going to be a slave to your own.
Whoa. You act like I put like crazy money on this. I'm like $5.
It's $5, bro.
$5.
If you say so.
It was $5 to get like 6 something.
If you say so.
A second. And mind you, I made this bet away from the facility. If you get that joke.
I did get that joke. Devin O'Shea, how we doing today? How we feeling? Cowboys got a bye week?
Yeah.
So what's the vibes like?
We're chilling right now. We're just looking forward to the Rams. They're going to be a little iffy matchup, but I think we'll be able to get it done. But the main matchup that I'm looking at is November 5th at 4:25 p.m. The Eagles versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys, that schedule, that date is circled on their calendar. Every single one of them. Because we got to come to play for this game, because against the 49ers, we had that game circled on our schedule, and we didn't do jack in that game. We didn't do anything in that game. George Kittle dropped 3 touchdowns on us, and then George Kittle goes on to the next game to have 1 reception. We were the only one to make George Kittle actually look good in a passing game.
Devin, you did do something. Michael Parsons released the podcast right after and said, we're going to take it personal next time.
Oh, yeah. And Debo doesn't think so.
I appreciate y'all because we always in sync. Because I was going to play when Devin mentioned the Cowboys, and obviously you got the Eagles circled. Y'all always have the Eagles circled.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. And when Micah Parsons got up on his podcast, like Kory said, and basically after the Cowboys' big win on, there's a squeak number 1. When the Cowboys won in SoFi Stadium on Monday night, Micah Parsons hopped up on his podcast and he said this.
On the bashing of Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and have the same energy for the Eagles. We want the same energy for everybody, because there's a whole bunch of bashing when it's Dak Prescott, but not the same when it's the Eagles. I got time today.
Yeah, time today. He said what he had to say. Now, I kind of, because the Cowboys is always going to get, super hype in the media, and positive or negative.
But we're also going to get the most hate.
Absolutely. But that's, you made a deal with the devil. He won 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. That's what you got to deal with.
Look, you're going to get the most hate because of the fact that you're on primetime and you're on our TVs every other week. Even when the amount of times I had to see the Dallas Cowboys when they're playing on my TV screen, I feel like I'm listening to Will and Jada's relationship. It's being forced upon me. But
I hate it here.
But the thing is, though, with that, when he says, critique the Eagles, critique the 49ers, we have been. If you look at the past seasons, we have. But you know what they did that the Dallas Cowboys didn't do? They made it to the Super Bowl. And they did something that the Dallas Cowboys haven't done since I was.
No, Devin. Before you say anything, I made a mistake. When I introduced everybody, I titled Kory David the Giants fan in the room. When really we know where his loyalty lies at. You love your Eagles. You love your Philadelphia.
You like that Jason Kelce Pierre?
I do not love the Eagles.
You don't?
I'm a Giants fan. And if I had a second team, you know what team that would be.
The Eagles?
No, it would be the Eagles. No, it'd probably be Baltimore or Detroit.
Hey, they play each other this week. They play each other this week in Baltimore.
What's the name was I really liked growing up. I really loved Calvin Johnson. Him being the perfect model of a receiver. I just loved the way he played the game. And then with the Baltimore, you know what that's about. I love that whole entire team.
You know who I looked up to? I looked up to Antonio Brown. Some of us did.
Who? You, Antonio Brown?
I'm kidding. I'm not a mental case.
I would hope so. You better say Des Bryant or T.O.
Wasn't expecting an Antonio Brown shout out.
T.O. got hit by a car the other day.
He was like, "Yo, look, I hope the car's okay." Look,
I'm the guy that would wish the car well.
And before we get into the show, it's funny you bring that up. Because when Stephen A. Smith, whenever he calls out an athlete on First Take, it's, you don't want to make an enemy out of me. Do you think he's really moving like that behind the scenes?
Nah.
Nah? You don't think he mob boss Stephen A.?
Nah,
He played one on General Hospital sometimes?
You know what happened.
My mom watched the sitcoms. I know.
We know what happened. Look. T.O. was probably getting somebody the business on the court. And then
he got... What? Then he got rammed by a car?
Yeah, look, people be vindictive. What's the saying? I'm about to go to the trunk. Hey, come on now, stop. You. Wait a second. I don't know if you watch White Man Can't Jump. Did you?
I did.
You did?
I did.
I was a little shocked.
You ain't gonna catch me today. I'm gonna get my car, get my other gun, and shoot everybody ass.
But the thing with when you look at with the Dallas Cowboys, like I said,
yeah,
they get all this media attention, but when you look at teams like the 49ers and the Eagles, they actually produce they only lost this one game, even though a lot of people didn't think they were.
To PJ Walker and Zach Wilson.
Hey, look, real players mess up every once in a while. But I think they're gonna get right back on track. Especially Eagles. I think they're playing with their throwbacks this week, right?
The Kelly Greens. We gonna see how they do, and that's the headliner of the week. Dolphins at Eagles, both teams 5-1, and obviously, and we'll get to the game picks when we do get to the game picks, we'll talk that game more in depth. But obviously, you have the Bama ties. Jalen Hurts famously replaced by Tua Tagovailoa in the 2018 National Championship game. We know what happened to it, but the big game-winning throw in overtime. Jalen Hurts has had that chip on his shoulder ever since, and we've seen him almost win an MVP. We've seen him ascend to a top 5 quarterback. That's gonna be something this week.
I'm gonna be honest. It's a freezing cold take that I had that nobody ever noticed. I know that I had. I didn't think Jalen Hurts was gonna make it to the league. I did not think he was gonna make it to the league. I'm gonna be.
He wasn't alone though.
It was just the fact that him playing at Oklahoma, I thought it was okay. He's gonna have a solid career there. They might switch him to running back or switch him to another position. That's what I thought, but he proved a lot of people wrong.
He definitely did, and that's definitely going to be, once again, the headline of this week. We had some football last night involving my football team.
I hope you got the thing in the sound effect. Oh God. Come on, hit me with it.
In a second. But I want to give the phone number out, 516-572-7440. You can also text the show, 516-905-WHPC. And before we get to the Giants-Commanders preview, our little roundtable segment will go around the NFL, college football, Major League Baseball with the playoffs, NBA with the preseason, and then obviously the game picks after 4:30. We're gonna do a short recap, and I mean short recap of last night. You know, I don't like
to talk about them.
You don't want to talk because it was his team.
No, I have no problem talking about this BS going on in New Orleans. I got no problem talking about it. You know why? Because I hate starting shows from a non-local setting unless I can tie it to a broader point. Because the New Orleans Saints is what every franchise should strive not to be. And maybe you think I'm being dramatic, but consider the fact that you have all the talent on that roster, and because you don't have the quarterback, number one, you don't have the head coach, number two, and you don't have the offensive coordinator, number three, they're a 3-4 football team. Watching that game last night, it was never, and by the way, before the game, before y'all want to clown me and be like, oh, the Saints is ass, I wanted them to get blown out because I need some change to go down.
Yeah, I texted
This is crazy
night.
what I'm watching.
It's a Josh on suicide watch right now.
There's only one man that could change this franchise. He's waiting in the wings.
Foster Monroe?
No, ain't no Foster Monroe. It's that man.
I want to go home.
J. Boo. Jameis Winston.
You joke. You joke.
Hey, he was trying to give him game on the sideline, like, hey, this is what I'm seeing on the side. This is what I'm seeing.
Kory, you joke, but honestly speaking, watching Derek Carr, and he has a shoulder sprain from week 3 at Green Bay, but and it's just nasty all the way around. Like, you have Chris Olave not running the right routes. You have Derek Carr yelling at people after throwing the ball 10 yards over his head out of bounds. What are we doing?
My man was
like, come on! I'm like, dude, you threw it out of bounds 20 yards.
my man Derek Carr was checked down Charlie last night. If I see Alvin Kamara with even a pinch of being open, I'm throwing it to him. I literally, I'm not gonna hold you. When I found out that Alvin Kamara had only 12 catches, I was surprised. I thought he at least had 17.
He had 29. He had 29 touches.
I thought he at least had 17 because I was like, every time you would think that he's about to do something as far as open up the passing game. Nah, just Alvin Kamara. And when Chris Olave did run that bad route, you can see Derek Carr was about to hop a blood vessel. He was like, "What are you doing?
I'm ready to get up."
And then. Just watch, but I ain't gonna lie. But guys stepped up. Like that comeback. That comeback was crazy. But you know what I was saying.
Not talking about no.
You know
comeback.
when I was saying Jameis Winston is that guy. No, he probably is. But the thing that I found interesting is the playmaker on your team. The real true playmaker on your team is the backup's backup. Taysom Hill. Yeah. He's still giving the league work as a. He
as a joker card.
He caught a pass. He caught a huge pass. He ran the ball pretty efficiently. I was like this when Alvin Kamara kept getting stopped, couldn't even sniff the end zone. I was like, hey, put a defensive lineman in there and put Taysom Hill in and let it go. But Michael Thompson, he had a good catch.
Had his first Michael Thomas. Thank you.
He
said Michael Thompson.
I said Michael Thompson.
Shout out Klay Thompson's dad on the 70s Lakers. Shout out Michael Thompson.
I said Thomas.
All right. We archive every show. How you gonna lie to my face right now?
We're live on Facebook, dude.
What's the commercial where they have where they throw the red flag and they challenge it?
And you gonna get it wrong every single time. And back to the Saints real quick, and we will get to the Giants in a little bit. Why I say every franchise should look to avoid being the New Orleans Saints. What was funny about the game last night, and I always look at the storylines surrounding each NFL game that we see, the Saints, when Sean Payton moved on, had a chance to hire Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, who won a Super Bowl in 2017 with the Eagles, who got let go because of the Hurts-Wentz controversy. We all know how that went down. His last game as the Eagles coach, hoeing Kory's Giants in the last game, sitting all his starters and making sure the Giants missed the playoffs. Never going to forget about that. But regardless, the Saints had a chance to hire Doug Peterson, but they went with Dennis Allen, who is now 18-42 all-time as a head coach. He went 4-12 in 2012, 4-12 in 2013, 0-4 in 2014 before he got fired, 6-10 last season. Excuse me, I'm sorry. 7-10 last season and 3-4 so far this season. He's never had any sort of success in the league. As a defensive coordinator, yeah, that defense brings it. But you have and listen, you know how I feel about Dennis Allen. I'm not going to say what I said before about Dennis Allen. I'm not going to go that far. I'm trying to behave myself on these airwaves. I'm not trying to push the needle. But I will say that, I don't like the way he commands the locker room. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way his posture is. I don't like nothing about this dude. There's no way the players respect him, and you see in the undisciplined football that the New Orleans Saints play. That's it. Like I said, got to spend more time on the Giants. Don't want to go too crazy with my team, but
do you think? I have a question. Do you think Calvin Ridley is a fraud?
No, you know what?
Do you think he's just betting the under on his receiving yards?
Nah. He went to Gamblers Anonymous. He's healed. All right. He went through the process.
With my slip, I needed 2 more catches. And he pinned himself onto the sideline, so he really didn't have a chance at it.
Well, listen, what I'll say in response to you both is that Calvin Ridley is a downfield threat. He's a downfield receiver. Trevor Lawrence was obviously hurt coming into the game, and he had a knee sprain, so you're trying to get the ball out quick. So you had a lot of passes to Agnew, who could make something happen.
Which was surprising since he had 59 yards on the ground, too.
Yeah, no, he looked pretty good for somebody dealing with that knee injury. But
I'm like, you couldn't get him on a slant or something? I'm like, come on.
Cory's
5 yards?
He's not
5 yards, bro? Really?
Help me out here.
Not great. And speaking of receptions and attempts, how about Derek Carr? 55 attempts.
I was going to say that, dude.
14 targets went to Kamara. 15 targets went to Olave, who only caught 7 of them. Now, Travis Etienne was the star of the game, 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. Alvin Kamara with those 12 receptions for 91 yards and 62 rush yards. Jaguars moved to 5-2 as the AFC South leaders. Saints once again are 3-4.
I'm surprised you're not talking about the catch. I'm surprised you're not talking about the catch.
What catch are we talking about? There was a lot of catches last night.
Is it? Let me make sure I got the name right. Fabian Moreau?
Oh, Foster Moreau. Yeah.
Foster Moreau.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about that, actually. I kind of mentally repressed it. So, usually, when a player messes up that badly on my team, I will roast them. I will kill them. I will kill them verbally.
Not with what he went through.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not what.
What was worse, missing in the catch or getting cancer?
Hey, yo!
Wow.
He beat it. Dude's a champ.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he is.
Good save. Good save, Devin.
Good save. You was almost about to beat me with a certain situation that we would not bring up.
But that's what I'm talking about. He beat cancer. I'm not going to trash a dude that beat cancer. Yeah. Everyone's dropped the pass in their life.
And an entire offseason, dude, did all of that, made the team, and
I'm not going to clown somebody
that might be a story on Amazon one day. Honestly.
Yeah.
Look, what he went through aside, I'm not going to lie. How do you drop a wide open? You are a receiver. Your one job is to catch the ball.
Alvin Kamara had his back. He was going into the locker room. Alvin Kamara and Juwan Johnson, who didn't play the game, the starting tight end.
Amazing.
They both were holding him because he was going through it. Everyone was on the field conversing, but he was on the sideline.
I'm glad you brought that up, Devin, because Alvin Kamara, who just came back from a suspension from beating a dude up on a Las Vegas elevator, is the best and biggest leader on this team, and that's a credit to him. But it's slander to everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
everybody else. They probably, the thing if you play football, when somebody messes up that bad, you pick them up and stuff like that. Look, when y'all alone with the rest of the team, y'all know it. That wasn't me who messed that up. That was Buddy over there.
I mean, you're right. You got to do a little bit of that, but you also got to have your teammates back too.
It's pick them up in public and kick them in the back in private.
Yeah, he was definitely. I mean, he was crying on the sideline. I don't know how bad he got it in the locker room.
I don't think he was crying. If you look at when him and Alvin Kamara was leaving, he was kind of joking. It was it is what it is.
We're the Saints, guys.
That's how I feel too. That's all I can do is laugh.
Hey, look.
All I can do is laugh.
Get that star out of New Orleans. He needs to be on a proper team.
I agree.
I'm not talking. Who you think I'm talking about?
Alvin Kamara.
No. Taysom Hill. The true star of the team. True star of the team.
Dude, when you search, I'm looking up Lattimore stats right now, but when you search up Marshawn Lattimore on Google,
why is Tyrann
Matthew pops up. He's the first picture that pops up.
Yeah, that's not good company to keep at this point. He got smoked by Christian Kirk.
Saint's gonna
yesterday.
Saint.
Hey, look, they both got dreads or braids and light skin. Light skin.
Oh, you seeing there's some profiling going on?
I ain't saying nothing.
Come on, Google.
Politician strikes again.
Come on, Google.
I'm noticing.
Do better.
Common Kory David politician moment. Speaking of Christian Kirk, I talk about Al Michaels. And mind you,
oh no,
I know I am technically the voice of Nassau Lions athletics. So I'm a rookie in this stuff. I don't want to call it the legends. But there comes a time where you got to know, maybe it's time to hang it up. Because Al Michaels yesterday in the biggest play of the game, go ahead touchdown. Here's what his call sounded like. Mind you, before I play this, it was obviously a touchdown.
He was nowhere near the sideline.
There was no moment in time that would lead you to believe that
between him and the sideline.
Yeah, there's no reason to believe that he stepped out of bounds. Here's the call.
Lawrence fires. That's caught on the run. Christian Kirk inside the 20. He goes, and Christian Kirk takes the ball all the way to about the 1 yard line. They're going to spot it as he thinks he scored the touchdown, and they're going to call it a touchdown now.
Wow.
I just want to say, in his defense, if you listen to the crowd, even the crowd didn't think that was a touchdown. Like, I was watching that game. I was watching that game live.
They were in the Superdome, bro. Why would they sound like they wanted that touchdown to be made?
No. It didn't feel like it was a touchdown. Like, when I first looked at it, I was like, I didn't think it was a touchdown.
You expecting cheers?
No, when I first seen the touchdown, I didn't think it was a touchdown. I didn't think it was a touchdown. Like,
what?
The way the atmosphere looked, it didn't look like nobody was really celebrating. Like,
because they're in New Orleans.
No, I'm talking about his teammates. His teammates didn't necessarily come over there and start celebrating with him.
Yo, he was 5 yards away from the out of bounds line.
It didn't look like it at the start. I'm telling you, it didn't look
How
like
are you backing up Al Michaels right here?
Are you Al Michaels' lawyer? Is there something I don't know? Why are you doing this?
What?
I'm saying in his defense.
Yo, stop. He's a politician every week. Now he's a defense lawyer. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get to the Giants. Let's take the heat off my team, and let's get to the 1-5 New York Giants.
Oh, that's cold.
No, they're 1-5, but you got to give credit where credit's due. They showed up and played a spirited game in Buffalo last week. The defense showed up.
We were robbed.
You were robbed. I'll give you that. But now the question is the season salvageable? No. But Saquon Barkley, what's the deal with him? He had an interesting comment when asked about a possible trade out of New York. Now, obviously, when you have a 1-5 football team and you're a star talent like Saquon Barkley, there's naturally going to be trade talks. Look at Christian McCaffrey last year. And by the way, this is actually the 1 year anniversary of the Niners McCaffrey deal. 1 year to the day today, where the Niners got a hell of a player for a third, a fourth, a fifth, and another fifth in this year's draft. But Saquon Barkley, here's what he had to say about the topic of a trade. Quote, "Everyone knows I don't want to get traded. I don't think anyone in their right mind would want to get traded anywhere. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to move. I have a family. I would love to be here." Now, before y'all go, does that sound like a ringing endorsement of the New York Giants to you? He said, when asked about, and you would think like he loves the Giants, but he said, "I don't think anyone in their right mind would want to get traded." And you come up with a generalized statement. Nobody wants to get traded. Yeah, nobody wants to move their family mid-season to a whole new city and get used to a whole new locker room.
Well, I think when talking about getting traded, I think he's more worried about the moving expenses. Like, it's pretty expensive to move.
Then leaving the Giants. Exactly.
I'm calling, like, as Offset would say, that's CAP, that is cap. Because this is the same guy who was willing to sit out this season and was willing to do anything it took to get his money. Look, if he gives us a chance to get pieces that are actual things that we need, I don't mind it, because I hate to say it, Saquon is a little bit injury prone. I wouldn't say little. He is injury prone.
Absolutely.
He missed a couple games this season already. So you got to think about it like this. You got to get what you can while you still can. And if you can send him off to a team that would benefit, like, I go a lot, a team that could benefit him right now in his abilities, Buffalo.
No, the Ravens.
I agree.
But they got James Cook. James Cook is doing exceptional in replacement.
I got James Cook on fantasy. He is not doing exceptional. Stop.
He's been doing great this year.
Stop the cap.
What are you talking about? They finally have a run game to be able to have made.
Kory, do you know that fantasy football stats is different than real life impact on the football field?
How many touchdowns he got this season?
I don't know if
how we
am I the
supposed to know
James?
James Cook at the top?
Am I his keeper?
Do you know who's the red zone threat when they like at the goal line? It ain't James Cook.
It's Latavius Murray. Yeah, I know.
Or Josh Allen.
or Damian Harris, who
It's literally anybody but the starter.
Oh, by the way, Corey, I wanted to ask you. Oh yeah, no, I forgot we talked about it Monday, but the ambulance.
Nah, that's wild.
I had to bring it up again. I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Imagine getting your jersey retired by ambulance.
Nah, that's straight. That was wicked. But yeah, I can see him going to a team like the Buffalo Bills. That could do something. And you could probably see if you get something like a Gabriel Davis back and some other pieces. You know, you need solid receivers. So that's something that I would look into. Try to just get the best thing that like you can for your team.
Saquon Barkley for Gabe Davis.
I don't think they're doing that, but
and other things.
What?
No, they're no. McCaffrey went for just picks. Why the Bills got to give up a player? They don't got to do that.
Like, Gabe Davis is the most random. What?
Huh?
Gabe Davis is so random.
He's a solid receiver. He's better than anything we got right now.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting seeing Gabe Davis as a wide receiver 1 on a team because he's always been a wide receiver 2 next to Stephon Diggs. So it'd be cool seeing like a Christian Kirk who left the Cardinals as a wide receiver 2 or 2 or 3 and went over to Jacksonville, became a wide receiver 1, and actually excelled there.
I'll go get look at some of the wide receiver number 2s in the league, like a Jacoby Myers, who put up points for somebody this week.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, good trade for the Guangdong Tigers. Once again, we thank you for your service,
Kory David,
Mr. David. Is anybody interested in the Giants injury report this week?
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, there always is a lot of it.
I read it off yesterday. There's a lot of it.
So here's the final one. Obviously, after today's practice, Daniel Jones is questionable for neck injury, as is Evan Neal with a ankle. I'm tempted to play that Don LaGreca clip again. We'll see if I do. Cornerback Adoree Jackson is also out for neck injury, or questionable, excuse me. Out is left tackle Andrew Thomas once again with a hamstring, as is fellow offensive lineman John Michael Schmitz, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmitz, and Matt Pert.
Is Justin Pugh going to have to play left tackle for us?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's not straight off the couch this week. We got some practice in,
Wow.
Well,
Chase Young.
I hate to keep stating the obvious, but this is the bed you chose to lay in when Joe Shane deviated from his game plan and was like, you know what? Do I want to get fooled by this fraud-ass 9-7-1 season with a negative point differential? Well, yeah, I think I will. I'll give Daniel Jones the bag.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm glad. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, each time that whole time sentence, I was fearing for you in the dump button. I was like, you about to say something crazy?
Nah, I'm not a hack. I know how to get around certain things.
I think Justin Pugh at left tackle this week, Chase Young might exactly get his season total in sacks with 3 this week.
You think he can pull a Khalil Mack?
I mean, Khalil Mack got 6. That's crazy. But
6 sacks.
I mean, I can definitely see like Chase Young.
Sorry.
I can absolutely see Chase Young just absolutely destroying Justin Pugh on this.
And then Montez Sweat probably like, hey, we just gonna meet at the quarterback. That's the deal.
And then Deron Payne too.
Yeah,
and, Jonathan Allen,
Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Jason. Like this defense, they're gonna eat apart this Giants offensive line.
Is Tyrod starting or is it Daniel Jones?
I just said Daniel Jones is questionable.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. Look, this
kid don't listen.
Hey, second. This is the one time I'm like, hey, Daniel Jones, did you sit this one out? Hey, Tyrod, come on, play.
Wow, setting up Tyrod Taylor to be the
we got to keep our.
What am I looking for?
We got to keep our trade asset.
The pinata, basically.
The pinata.
Hey, look, it's not like you've been through worse.
The crash dummy.
The doctor.
All right, Commanders, get him.
The Chargers doctor. The Chargers doctor done put him through worse already.
Oh man. Yup, people don't remember
Los Angeles.
how Justin Herbert got his first start because they tried to kill Tyrod Taylor.
I'm just gonna tell you this. He gonna have a job for like forever in the league, right? Basically.
Oh yeah.
And insurance.
That was probably the deal.
Puncture his lung.
That was probably the deal that they did. Hey, we gonna give you a Chase Daniels, Chad Henne type deal.
Daniels deal is crazy.
You one of the few brothers that could get this type of deal. I know we messed up with the whole. We got you. We glad you didn't sue us.
Yeah, that's crazy. People forget about that. Tyrod Taylor almost died because of the Chargers team doctor.
Yet the Bills get DeMar Hamlin back.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, tell us who you are and where you're calling from and what you want to talk about. Anytime now. No pressure.
You got this. I believe in you.
It's okay. We all get stage fright. Well, I tried. I try to give words of encouragement. Yeah. Sometimes they don't work, you know? They don't always work.
Well, thank you for the call.
Yeah, as always. Let's take a timeout. The caller just hung up.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks for throwing us off our game a little bit.
Thanks for the memories.
I'll miss you.
Ahead of the break or after the break, we will get to our roundtable discussion as well as, you know what time it is, WHPC game picks.
Woo!
Back in a little bit. Here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
This show on 90.3 WHPC is brought to you by the Enza Brandy Law Firm, a full-service law firm that works with litigation, personal injury, real estate, and trusts and estates. The Enza Brandy Law Firm is located at 33 Walt Whitman Road, Suite 203 in Huntington. If you are looking to purchase your first home or seek compensation for injuries, you may get more information about the Enza Brandy Law Firm, 631-757-7471 or online at enzabrandylaw.com. That's ENZABRANDI law.com.
As promised, back on Sports Talk here on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Joshua Umahi, your host, joined by Devin O'Shea and Kory David, 516-572-7440. Call up the show if you want to actually use your words and talk to us. We're not mind readers up here. Yeah. Let's get right into the content, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get it. Deshaun Watson, we tried to detail last week. His curious decision, and depending on who you believe, was it a team decision? Was it his own individual decision to not play, not just in Week 4 versus Baltimore, where they had to start a rookie quarterback against the top 5 defense? Tough position for that kid. And also last week against San Francisco, where they got a huge win. What's going on? Is it an actual injury? Is it that bad where he's got to miss 3 weeks? Or is he just doing Deshaun Watson, you know, the world revolves around me and my $230 million guaranteed dollars?
He's just waiting for his paycheck.
Yeah, what's going on with that? Well, the latest news report we have on that is that, let me find it. Browns think he's going to start Sunday. They got a feeling.
That is so...
They think
Give me more.
So.
What?
Yeah, they think so.
Like,
they don't know so, but they think so.
Like,
they have a.
He's probable. He's questionable.
No, geez.
We think he may play. He might show up on Sunday.
That's a weird situation.
If he shows up, that'll be cool.
Even weirder is Jerry Jeudy versus Steve Smith. So we know what happened last week.
Ninja.
Let me find that.
It's not the what? It's Ninja.
Oh my God!
Steve Smith said it.
No way, yo. Why you looking down like that? All right, let's let the people hear it again. Here is Steve Smith responding to Jerry Jeudy after. What did Jerry Jeudy do? Just walk behind him while Steve Smith was talking on the pregame show last Thursday night? Here's what Steve Smith had to say in response to Jerry Jeudy.
Ninja. Yes, I'm using the word ninja. I'm just using the word ninja. I don't mess with you. And it was a curse word. And so I was like, all right. And then he repeated it. So I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I said you were a jag, just a guy who's an average wide receiver they use a first round pick on that isn't doing anything. I hope today that you actually show up in a way that you haven't showed up in the last couple of years since they drafted you. So if you ever got a problem with Agent 89, I'm sorry that you're an average wide receiver that they eventually will move on. And when teams call me and asking, Should they trade for you? I would say no. Don't trade for Jerry Jeudy because he's mentally unable to handle constructive criticism from people who watch specifically. Can he be a wide receiver? He could be a wide receiver. He's a tier 3. Go back into the studio. I'm done now. Thank you.
Jerry Jeudy did, in fact, not show up that game.
He then dropped 3 receptions for 14 total yards.
Oh, that's big time. That's a prime time performance right there.
You know, the crazy thing is the fact that he would say, you know, if he would have came up there and apologized, that's exactly what he was doing. He came up there to apologize to you, but you want to have this attitude. And look, he's not wrong at anything that he says. You got to take it from a guy who's potentially a Hall of Fame receiver. You're not that guy.
Yeah.
Now, look, if you go to another situation and you could prove everybody wrong, but as it currently stands, you're not that guy. And people pay. I honestly think a team that would probably benefit him a lot, and I think that he would love to go to, especially because he works out with this quarterback in the offseason, is the Baltimore Ravens. They have that South Florida connection with Lamar, that Broward County connection. I think he would love to go there, but even there, I still don't think he would produce. Like, it's a situation between I would love to go somewhere and where I'll be most productive. The place where he would be most productive, Kansas City.
I don't hate that because he knows the division already. And whatever you want to say about Jerry Jeudy, and I do agree with Steve Smith, like he's a tier 3 receiver.
Look, if there's
with Mahomes, he could be a lot better, and Mahomes has desperately needed a wide receiver ever since losing Tyreek Hill to going to Miami. He's been having to work with Sky Moore, Rice, and Tony. This is what he's working with. So throw Jerry Jeudy into there. Patrick Mahomes might be able to make him into a wide receiver 1.
Question, just a little sidetrack. If Tyreek Hill doesn't win a Super Bowl, is this going to be like a 30 for 30 type story? Like, what if? Like, this is like a Shaq and Penny type thing.
Well, he has a good chance this year.
Huh?
He has a good chance this year.
He has a good shot, and I look. I know people don't think this, but does Tyreek Hill have a legit case for being MVP?
Oh, I mean, Stephen A. Smith don't think so.
What?
He actually don't think Tua should be MVP either, which is a crazier statement.
I get him saying not Tua, but Tyreek Hill has been one of the best non-quarterbacks in the league this year.
Stephen A. Smith and Tyreek Hill, now that you remind me, had a war of words on that.
Hey, look, I love Stephen A. Smith. Good journalist, but does anybody care what he says in a lot of times?
Because he doesn't watch the games.
After J.J. Redick dog washed him like a couple times on air with his own takes, I can't take anything he says. And then the fact that he was getting schooled by Max every day, and he's like, hey, this man schooled me every day. Get him going. He CIA'd him. He's like, gotta get you going. Look, like I said, he's a good journalist at times. At times he gets stuff right in the NBA a little bit. But when you ask him about stuff that doesn't pertain to basketball, like in the football realm, he's a novice.
Stephen A. Smith, when Tyreek Hill said that he doesn't watch the games, said this. He's threatening people again. Quote, everything that is said isn't meant to be taken literally. Of course, I wasn't trying to imply that Tua can't throw the damn football. I certainly wasn't implying that he wasn't an MVP candidate. To say I don't watch the games, Tyreek Hill, please watch your mouth.
No.
Watch your mouth. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to like that?
No, Tyreek Hill has a point. You literally said out your own mouth that all that Tua does is he throws 2-yard slants to Tyreek Hill and he gets most of the chunk yards. No, that isn't what happened. I literally watched the game last week. Tua literally flamed it, and luckily it was man-to-man coverage, which was the stupidest thing you could possibly do against Tyreek Hill.
Not great.
Easy touchdown. He can sling that thing. Pause. I did put the pause. I said pause.
Pause. You did.
I was on.
You learning?
I'm learning.
You both learning.
I'm hip to the pause game, man. Stop it. I'm like Cam and Mace out here.
Nah, you better than Devin at least.
Hey, good boy, killer.
Sometimes I say some stuff and I don't realize that it sounds really weird.
You know who also says some stuff? Mike McDaniel. Here he is defending.
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's great. Here he is defending Tua. He was asked if Tua is a system quarterback or something like that. Here's Mike McDaniel coming to the rescue.
Push this podium over. My answer to that would be who the F cares. I'm not in any hurry to prove myself without those guys because those are part of who we are, and to try to say it's this person or that person is kind of missing the point. It is a team working together, people working together, and
he's got such a way with words, yo. Just very articulate. Don't miss a beat.
He thinks about what he says before he says it.
Oh, he's very calculated. Yeah. Well, there you go. I think that'll do it for the NFL talk until game picks. Let's talk some baseball. Let's go to the Diamondbacks Phillies series. Did y'all know? And I know why Kory's making that face. There was a parlay going around of the Diamondback starting pitcher and the Phillies starting pitcher. We had Ranger Suarez pitch for the Phillies. Devin, help me out with this guy's name. Brandon Fat?
I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I think it's Fat.
Brandon Fat.
I think it's Brandon Fat.
Like a Bostonian saying fart?
Yeah, like the
Brandon
PH. Fat.
Yeah. All right, just checking. He pitched well. He got taken out a little early for my liking, but 9 strikeouts, I think it was.
Yes, 9 strikeouts.
Rangers,
2 hits.
Crazy, and he pitched to a 5 ERA in the regular season
against a red hot Philly team.
That's what you do in the playoffs. He's a playoff riser.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Ketel Marte, the decisive hit in the bottom of the ninth to give the Diamondbacks their first win of the NLCS. Yeah, but back to this parlay. So there was a parlay going around that had like 45,000 something odds on Ranger Suarez getting 7 strikeouts and Brandon Fott getting 8.
Oh, really?
A lot of people, first off, this flew under the radar for me because I should have been on that. But you had people cashing out like $5,000, $1,000.
Oh, really?
$10,000. I'm like, yo, of all the ones to hit, that hits. I'm
Missed out.
And you know when I see a winning bet, I start hating. Like, that should be me.
Yeah.
That should be me.
I should have done
Why is not me? Why is you? Why can't it be me?
When you see that player do exactly what they were needed to do on that parlay and you didn't pull the trigger on it, it's like, that's right.
You don't know how bad I'd be when I see somebody won $1 million or $5. I'm like, why?
Well, you know, Kory, keep dreaming, bro. It could be you.
I'm gonna keep fighting.
Look.
I'm like Ash Ketchum. I'm not gonna stop till I'm a parlay master.
It's like every week I see Christian McCaffrey, and it's like he hasn't not had a touchdown in a game since I want to say the last 15 games. So every single week I see the parlay, and it's like anytime Christian McCaffrey touchdown, I'm like, this got to be the week he doesn't get it. This has got to be the week he doesn't get it, and then he gets it still. And I'm like, it's incredible.
I feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the championship series in baseball. Let's go to the American League. The Astros lit up Max Scherzer in Game 3. They won last night's Game 4 in decisive fashion. I'm talking like Mike McDaniel now. So that's that karma. The ALCS is tied at 2-2 going back to Minute Maid Park. So
the Texas Rangers, they were on fire, but 2-2 series, all even right now.
It's crazy that the Astros, and this was the case in the regular season too, they're so much better on the road. So much better on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And that was talked about leading into games 3 and 4, and they got it done. So
it's wild because it's like completely the opposite of the. It's a strike. It's a slider.
the trash cans.
The trash cans.
Well, you know
You'd think they'd be doing better at home.
You would think so. Probably won't have time to get to NBA, even though Tom Thibodeau did call out the Knicks' piss-poor effort against the Washington Wizards, giving up 41 points to Jordan Poole in 3 quarters, giving up 131 points in regulation to the Washington Wizards.
I said yesterday, Jordan Poole is my pick for most improved player. He is my pick for most improved player. He's going to get it.
I seen somebody said Danny Adavi.
Denny Avia.
He's like, he looks already miserable playing with Jordan Clarkson.
Well, I saw somebody say, and this is the best take from the week.
I think I know what you're about to say.
Yo, Jordan Poole is looking off Steph Curry. What makes you think you above that? What makes you think? You can't get mad. We had Steph Curry doing a mouthpiece because Jordan Poole was looking him off.
I said,
how you gonna get mad as Danny Avia? Who are you?
I said, so he was wide open. He said, you know what, I'm going to take this contested 3.
And he made it too. You mad?
He made it, but, yo, look, he going to have a bunch of those. You know, I feel like not Jordan Clarkson. I'm about to say,
You said Jordan Clarkson earlier.
Jordan Poole. I did not. But I said Jordan Poole is who he feels like right now. It'll be like if Nick Young and Jordan Clarkson actually got a chance to start, like, be those guys.
I thought you was going to say if Nick Young and Jordan Clarkson had a baby. You know how, no, and you remember when Shaq and Chuck was talking about, damn, Zion looks like we had a baby.
Like, he's in that same ilk of, like, a J.R. Smith where it's like, sometimes he can be good, sometimes he can be crap.
The scary thing about Jordan Poole before we move on is that he already got his ring and he already got his money. So he's just chilling.
I just want to say one thing. My man Julius Randle was out there in Skechers playing.
Hey, he got the no. Be respectful. He got the first ever poster in Skechers sneakers. All right, that's the first time it's ever happened.
Wow.
Yo, how much is Skechers throwing a bag at these athletes for Joel Embiid to be like, I got a signature with Under Armour. Yeah, let me go see what the Skechers life is about.
I like it. Listen, I know we clowned the kids that wore them Larry Bird Skechers back in the day at the school, but I like when everyone else zigs, you zag. I like it.
Hey, look, you mean the people like the Tony Romo Skechers, the comfortable, or the Joe Montana joints that's super comfortable?
They are comfortable. You can't deny that. Before we get to the game picks, though, I want to make an announcement for next week on the show. So Tuesday, Kory, this might interest you. We're going to be live from the hours of 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. from Roosevelt Field Mall. You heard me. WHPC Sports Talk is going to be live from Roosevelt Field Mall. Live from the hours of 3 to 5 on Tuesday from Roosevelt Field Mall, right by Dick's Sporting Goods in the concourse.
Roosevelt.
It's
not Roosevelt. You know who only says Roosevelt? Out of town. Come on now.
I've only been saying it my whole life. All right, man.
Literally, I live in the town
Nobody
of
correct you on
Roosevelt.
that?
No. I think people are scared to correct me. I don't know.
I live in the town of Roosevelt, so we don't call it Roosevelt. Call it Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Are there any other Nassau County towns that are mispronounced?
I do not. Probably
Poughkeepsie?
Ronkonkoma.
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 Patchogue?
Pachog?
Wantagh? A lot of people say Wantagh wrong.
Wantagh. Well, I say
Wontage?
I say it like this. I say Wantagh.
Wonton soup?
What?
Long Island got some You know the craziest thing I learned about Long Island though?
What?
When I found out the Hamptons was on Long Island. Like, I didn't know. For the longest, I was like, when growing up watching the movie White Chicks, I'm like, where is that?
Because you wouldn't think, living on Nassau County, that somewhere as beautiful as the Hamptons would be.
The Hamptons should be in like California.
Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't think it would be on the easternmost edge of Long Island. You wouldn't think that.
When they say Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green,
the Hamptons 5, yeah,
it was out here.
Yeah,
out here.
not many people know that the Golden State Warriors dynasty began in the Hamptons on Long Island.
Wow.
Long Island stand up. Strong Island.
Strong Island.
# Strong Island. All right, y'all.
It's time.
It is week 7 in the NFL season. I don't know if y'all look at the time. I've been getting in trouble because we've been extending the show too late into other people's shows, so we got to race through these today.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be that long. It's only 3 of us.
That's true, and
that is true.
And
a lot of bye weeks.
6 teams on a bye week.
Literally, we might be done with the segment at 55.
Hey, wishful thinking.
Hey, look, talk about Sabrina.
Oh, we gotta give time for
Let's get it then. Let's go. On a bye week, the Jets, the Dallas Cowboys, the Bengals, the Titans, the Texans, the Panthers. All right. First game, 1 p.m. window, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Chicago Bears. Now, Devontae Adams had some interesting comments. Mind you, the Raiders have a great chance to go to 4-3. But Devontae Adams is talking like he wants to go. He said, what did he say, Kory?
Well, I don't got the quote.
Oh, you was nodding like you knew.
Oh, no.
I got you. I'll pick you up.
I was about to say, he'd sound like somebody said, I'm tired, boss. I'm ready to go.
Hey, Devontae, you want to be a cowboy?
No, don't wish that evil on him. Brother, this guy stinks.
Listen, Devontae Adams actually said it's not about wins and losses. It's about greatness. What are you talking about? The only thing you don't have is a ring.
Hey, Devontae,
he's going to be catching from Brian Horley this week.
Devontae Adams seen Aaron Rodgers throwing a little bit. He like, what you got going over there?
Hey, with that being said, though, Raiders, 3.5-point road favorites at Chicago. No Justin Fields. Who we got?
It's going to be the worst game the entire week. This is Brian Hoyer against a guy that I can't remember his name, but his father is an arm wrestling champion.
Tyson Bagent.
That.
I got
that versus Brian Hoyer. I'm going to take the Raiders, but I'm taking the under because this game is going to be garbage.
Raiders as well. I'm taking the under as well.
Give me the Raiders and give me the... Yeah, give me the under.
It's going to be garbage.
Did y'all know, by the way, if you bet on, and this is from ESPN Stats and Info, if you bet every game to go to the under this season, you would have won 60% of the time?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, when I think I'm about to go... Yeah, the one time I did get it correct was last night. I bet the over.
I mean, when in doubt, bet the under. That's what they always say.
Next game, the Browns are 3-2. They've won last week. Big win against San Francisco. The Indianapolis Colts are missing Anthony Richardson. Browns 2.5-point road favorites over under at 40.5. Who we got?
Cleveland. I'm going under as well.
I'm taking Cleveland. Their defense is just too good that Gardner Minshew, I don't think he's going to be able to get anything done in Cleveland. And I'm going to take the over.
Not many people know Cleveland's defense off to a historic pace. Give me Cleveland outright and give me the under, obviously.
I think they're averaging like 120 yards allowed on the air.
That's crazy.
Like, that's wild.
Unbelievable. The Buffalo Bills, 4-2. They won last week, a nail-biter win against the Giants. They visit New England, who is DDG. Buffalo is 9.5-point road favorite. Who we got?
I got Buffalo, and I'm going with the spread, and I'm going with the over.
All right.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I'm going to take the over, and I would honestly take a 20-point spread, but I'll take the 9.5. Yeah, I'll take the 9.5 instead.
Yeah, Buffalo, give me the points. Who are we kidding? The Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs have won the last 5 out of 6 against the Falcons, but Tom Brady ain't running the show no more. It's Baker Mayfield now.
Shake and bake.
He was garbage against Detroit last week, but we feel a bounce-back effort coming from Baker. Who we got?
I'm going with Tampa. I'm going with Tampa Bay, and I'm going with the over.
All right.
I'm going to go the over. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay 2.5. And like Nico always says, but he's not here, shake and bake.
Give me Tampa Bay with the points. Give me the under. Under, yeah. It's a low under, but...
You trust Ritter?
No.
I wouldn't either.
Trust Ritter. All right, if the main event on Sunday is Dolphins and Eagles...
Game of the week.
This is the undercard. Lions at the Ravens. Lions 5-1, Ravens 4-2. Ravens are 4th defensively in points per game allowed. Lions are 4th in scoring offense. Who we got? Big matchup at 1 o'clock.
I'm excited for this game.
I'm going with the Detroit. I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
In the battle of Kory's teams, he picks the Lions.
I think that the defensive line is going to be able to get to Lamar, and it's going to be a problem for him.
All right, Devin, who we got?
It was tough. Like, this is going to be a great game in Baltimore. 2 of the best teams this season so far, but I'm going to take Detroit. I trust Dave Montgomery will be out, but I'm thinking this might be a come out game for Jahmyr Gibbs. Pause. I will take the over, and I'll take the 3.5 for Detroit.
Yo, I went back and forth on this one, but give me Baltimore. Give me Detroit to cover 3.5. Give me the over. The Pittsburgh Steelers opening the 4 o'clock window. They're a surprising 3-2. The Rams are also a surprise at 3-3, but they're without their top 2 running backs. But it helps that the Steelers is bottom 5 in rush yards allowed. Kory, who we got?
I'm going with Cooper Kupp, the GOAT.
Cooper Kupp.
And Puka
Nacua. We got you.
We'll go with the Rams. Under.
Devin?
I'm definitely taking the Rams in this game. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they're just biggest frauds. They have a negative point differential. Their defense is the only reason they are at 3-2. I will take the Rams to cover in the 3.5 for the Rams, and I will take the over.
Yeah, just looking deeper into the stats for this one, the Rams is by every metric the better team. Give me the Rams, give me 3.5, and give me the under, obviously. The Cardinals at the Seahawks. Seahawks lost last week in Cincinnati. Arizona 1-5 in the win-loss, but they're 4-2 against the spread. So Seattle's 8.5-point favorites. Who we got for this one?
I'm going with Miami.
Well, since the choices are Seattle and Arizona, that's pretty tough.
Yo, pay attention, bro. Come on. You was doing so well.
I'm tripping. Yeah, I was looking for my phone real quick. Yeah, I'll go. I mean, I got Seattle. I got Seattle, and I got the over. My bad.
Devin, who we got?
I'm going Seattle. I'm taking Seattle to for the 8.5. I'm not trusting Joshua Dobbs this week. But I will take the over.
Kyler Murray off IR. He's not going to play this week. Give me the Cardinals to cover, but obviously give me Seattle to win. Give me the under. Green Bay at Denver. So this is the game where the stoppable force meets the movable object. Green Bay's offense is bottom 5 in yards per game. Denver's defense infamously 32nd in the league. Who we got for this one? Green Bay 1.5-point road favorites.
Hey, look, if there was ever a time I need Russell to come through for me, I need him to give Green Bay a loss. I'm going to get some money off either you or Nico. Somebody.
Devin?
It's tough, but I will be taking Jordan Love after a very iffy game. Well, coming off a bye after the iffy game where I think it was 3 interceptions that he threw against the Raiders, I want to say. I definitely think that he's going to just throw all over this field against Denver.
Real quick, Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs 5.5-point favorites. Who we got?
I'm going with the Chargers. I mean, not with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Come on, bro. I said hurry up.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, bet. Devin, who we got?
I'm taking the Chiefs, 5.5 for the Chiefs, and I'm taking it over for 48.
Here's the game. Dolphins at the Eagles. Eagles 2.5-point home favorites. Who we got in this one?
Miami.
Tua, who we got?
Miami.
Devin.
You will never see me taking the Eagles. I am taking Miami, and I'm taking the over.
We're all on Miami. Give me the under in this one, though. Give me the under. We'll pick up Monday night's game on Monday. Makes sense. And that'll do it for WHPC Game Picks on Friday, October 20th, ahead of Week 7. Any final thoughts, y'all? I know Devin wanted to talk Liberty Aces.
Nah, it's disappointing seeing Sabrina not be able to get that this year, but she'll be back.
We're gonna be back.
She'll be back.
Like they said, we don't bend, we don't fold. We're gonna be back at the top. We a super team. It's the only New York team that you got the hope to look for right now.
Congrats, Kelsey Plum and Darren Waller.
Asia Wilson deserves a signature shoe. I'm just gonna point that out.
Asia Wilson deserves a lot more than that. That'll do it for WHPC Sports Talk today. Thank you once again for listening. On the behalf of Devin O'Shea and Kory David, on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC, this is Joshua Umahi telling you enjoy your weekend.